All right, welcome. I'm Dr. Jess Bueller, and I'm a chiropractor in Central South Dakota. And I'm hoping that whoever invited you here tonight was excited to tell you about what we have to teach you about tonight. Basically, the science behind what is known as nutrigenomics. And the company, LifeVantage, is at the front of this movement, if you will, where we're using nutrition to affect our gene expression. And this might seem like new terminology to you, but it won't be for long, because it's definitely something that is coming about and becoming more popular because, well, frankly, I think people are just kind of sick and tired of being sick and tired, and they're starting to look for ways to improve their own health and wellness that are just more natural. And so this is one that is really powerful too. So we want to find ways, and something I'm very passionate about is helping people to find ways to find health. And this is just one of those. As we know, health is a combination of multiple choices that come together to get us to that state of either health or disease. So we're just going to talk about this nutrigenomics movement tonight. Why is it not going? Oh, there we go. Okay, so like I said, this is definitely, if you see this is on the news. I'm sure you guys have seen some about this, using your DNA, affecting your DNA with your diet, or this personalized health market where people are just looking for what works for them to get the results that they want. And so with nutrigenomics, we're able to biohack our bodies. So what does that mean? It means we're able to take control of our bodies and use the expression of our genes, the expression of our DNA, to affect ourselves positively. So if you think of that like switches, you're basically turning on all the good switches and turning off all of the bad switches. So that's just a stellar theory when it began, and now it's just reinforced by results. And so what we're going to do is watch an ABC Primetime Investigative report that was done on the product that is the flagship product of LifeVantage, called Nerve2 Protandim. And this is a cellular activator that biohacks our bodies by engaging the NRF2 pathway in our body. So this is kind of what started it all, and it all began in 2003. So we're 15 years out from that, you guys. This is not the latest and greatest new thing that you just haven't heard about yet. This is not that. This is something that's been around and has quite a bit of research on it. But in 2003, when the company was first founded, they had one product with one peer-reviewed study and one patent on the blend of the product, which is where all of the synergy comes into play. But we're going to watch this ABC Primetime Investigative report, and then we'll pick back up from there.
You want to get an edge on turning back the clock with just a few pills? Who doesn't? Well, it's no longer science fiction, but science possibility, a potential breakthrough. As I found out firsthand, there may be a way to erase years, at least inside my body. Granted, it's down the road, but some scientists are wondering if a new pill I took might offer a very long life. It may not look like the fountain of youth, but inside this nondescript building, I'm about to become part of an exciting experiment, a kind of guinea pig. Dr. McCord, okay. I'm here at the University of Colorado in Denver to meet Dr. Joe McCord, a world-renowned scientist. This is pretty exciting stuff you're finding, huh?
It is. We're very excited about it.
His latest research could very well unravel the mystery of aging itself. And his decades of experiments may have the potential of adding years to people's lives and possibly prevent chronic diseases like cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. It all centers around this small yellow pill, and for me, it begins with a blood test.
Yeah, there we go.
It wouldn't be the first time I've given blood for this company. They want to check my levels of something called T-bars, which is a rough indicator of a person's actual age. T-bars can identify a condition known as oxidative stress, a kind of measure of the wear and tear on our bodies. Oxidative stress, like the rusting of an engine, is not a good thing.
Bad for the body,
Leading to disease.
leading to disease and leading to malfunction, and importantly, leading to what we call aging. It is a slow progression of increasing oxidative stress. That's the main characteristic biochemically of the aging process.
The problem of aging begins with the very food we eat to give us energy. As our cells burn that food, they also release toxic chemicals. Those chemicals, you may know them as free radicals, react with all the components of our cells, literally bombarding them millions of times per second, damaging all our cells. The result? Oxidative stress. We all have it. The body fights back with a system of defenses. It makes two antioxidant enzymes, catalase and SOD, whose job is to gobble up the free radicals before they can harm our cells. So, doctor, how often do I take these? And so, here I go. With that swallow, I've just become part of a potentially landmark scientific experiment. Doesn't taste bad. It's called Protandim, and tests on both mice and humans have already shown that it revs up the manufacture of those good enzymes in our bodies. More enzymes, fewer free radicals to harm us.
Right now, all we know is that this preparation decreases oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is not a disease, just like aging is not in itself a disease, but it's something that accompanies and is attached to many disease processes. So you can see the age-related.
Normally, oxidative stress, measured by those T-bars, increases with age. But in Dr. McCord's tests, taking just one pill of Protandim a day reversed that trend for everyone at every age, even for an 80-year-old.
They all are reduced to the level of oxidative stress that one would expect, frankly, in a newborn or a very young child.
High oxidative stress is associated with more than aging. It's been linked to hundreds of illnesses.
It's at the very center of many diseases: liver disease, diabetes, emphysema, asthma. I've studied all of these: strokes, heart attacks, even mental disease. Yes, depression, Alzheimer's disease, depression.
Dr. James Crapo with the National Jewish Medical Center in Denver is also researching Protandim for the company. But what about my progress? After nearly 2 weeks now, it's time to get my results. Dr. McCord calculates the numbers. The result? My level of oxidative stress has declined dramatically.
45%, that's excellent.
Just look at where I fall on the graph, before and after.
Which, if extrapolated back, is the level you would see in a newborn baby.
Would you suggest I keep taking this supplement?
I would. I can't guarantee it's going to extend your life. I can't guarantee it's going to eliminate any diseases or cure any diseases.
But we do know that oxidative stress is part of those disease processes. I don't want to wait until I'm 80 years old and find out that I should have taken it.
All right. So, like I said, when this aired in 2003, they had the one study that Dr. McCord and his team had published, and they had one patent on their blend. So this ABC Primetime report aired in 2005, and they had $5 million in orders that came in overnight just based on pure speculation. Stock went from $1 to over $20 in the same night. But this was a small biotech company, and they just were not ready. They didn't have the infrastructure, the sales team. They didn't have their stuff together in order to put out that kind of product in that amount of time frame. And so right away, they just had a bad rap. But the thing about it is that since then, and the reason why we watched that is because that was really just the foundation. And what happened is major universities, major companies decided to study it based on the same speculation. So we are now endorsed by the American Heart Association, the American Cancer Society. We've got studies by Harvard, LSU, I mean, you guys, this is not just something little. And there are now 23 peer-reviewed studies available on our NRF2 Protandim that are available in PubMed. But we're just going to go back and talk just a little bit about what oxidative stress is. So remember, the claim was that we could reduce oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days, regardless of the age when you start. But what is that? You know, this picture is so graphic, but if you look at this rusting of the apple, you know, this is oxidative stress on a cellular level for us. When we're born, we have these perfect cells that are free of toxic damage. And then over time, just from normal processes in our body, and then also the toxic things that we put in our body, whether it is from our environment or from the foods we eat, the things we drink, or even our thoughts, you know, just any level, we see these free radicals just causing damage to our cells. And so what they found is that to neutralize free radicals, we needed antioxidants. And so the antioxidant boom began, and you've seen, I'm sure, all this talk about antioxidants and everything. Even in water, they've added antioxidants. But eating your servings of fruits and vegetables, and then superfruits, super greens. I mean, how many antioxidant drinks are on the market right now, right? But antioxidants that we consume are direct antioxidants, meaning that you're only able to neutralize a free radical at a 1-to-1 ratio. But with our Protandim NRF2 Synergizer, what we're able to do is make them. So we start making them at a rate of 1,000,000 to 1 every second when we take this activator. So what happens is within every cell, there's a protein messenger called NRF2. And so when we take this activator, it activates the cell, and that messenger attaches to our DNA, and it causes an expression of certain genes. And one of them controls this production of antioxidants. And it's one of 25,000 human genes that are positively affected by this activator. So when you think about this, it's really just the ability to go into your DNA and turn on all the good switches and turn off all the bad switches. This is literally a scientific breakthrough, you guys. NRF2 activation is amazing. This is what our bodies naturally do and normally do when we're younger. But as we age, we just get less good at activating this pathway because of the toxicities that we subject our bodies to. But so lowering oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days is an FDA approved statement that we get to make. We are BSCG certified and NSF certified, so all athletes can use these. It passes drug screenings because it's not a drug. There's peer-reviewed and published science that it's available in PubMed at pubmed.gov, and that's where doctors do their research. It's the public medical database. There are 11 patents, 7 of which are U.S. patents, and those are for the specific purposes that it does, including anti-inflammatory, antioxidant production, anti-tumor forming, anti-cancer. You can read all of those as well. But this is the only supplement proven to extend lifespan by the National Institute of Aging. The only one. It's awesome. This is a study here which said that with NRF2, we may be on the verge of a new literature on health effects of NRF2, which may well become the most extraordinary therapeutic and the most extraordinary preventive breakthrough in the history of medicine. I mean, if you're not getting excited yet about what you're listening to, then get there. You're going to need to do your own research and look at this because it's very big. This is also, this study was published in the Multiple Sclerosis Journal. One of the studies that really got me interested was actually a study that was on neurodegenerative diseases, including Alzheimer's, MS, Parkinson's, and ALS. And this study that was done by a drug company. And when they finished comparing Protandim to their drug, they found that, interestingly, Protandim, a dietary supplement consisting of herbal ingredients, was the most potent inducer and therefore may be the most suited as a therapeutic strategy. This is in comparison to a drug called Tecfidera, which is available on the market for $52,000 for a 3-month supply. Is that crazy or what? And we know that it doesn't even do half the amount of activation of the NRF2 pathway. What happens is we can take down that rusting of the apple or the engine, if you will, with our oxidative stress lower NRF2 proteandum. But what we've found is that when you have those free radicals damaging your cells, they don't leave out the most important part of your cell, which would be the engine, right? The mitochondria. So what NRF1 proteandum does is it basically follows up our NRF2 by repairing those damaged mitochondria, replicating mitochondria, and giving them more ATP production. So what does that mean? That means that we have given an old car a fixed up engine, more engines, and fuel. So think about that in a cellular level. How much better are your cells going to run if we fix their engines, we add more engines, and we give them fuel? Better, right? I mean, who do you know that's sick and tired of being sick and tired? Because NRF1 is for them. These are conditions that are specifically connected to mitochondrial dysfunction. So when you look at these things, chronic fatigue, Alzheimer's, epilepsy, autism, mitochondrial disease, ALS, fibromyalgia, the list goes on and on. Okay, so this is the Vitality Stack. In my opinion, these are the 4 most powerful biohacks there are on the market. So we have our NRF2 proteandum bringing that rust off the engine, our NRF1 proteandum to supercharge the engine, and then we have these other 2 big players, and that is Omega Plus and Physique ProBio. So we know that a majority of conditions, they are the result of improper gut health. So that is where ProBio comes into play. And this probiotic not only has the strains that we want to see for the effect on the small and large intestine, but it also has a biotract lining so that it bypasses your stomach acid and gets to the stomach where we want it to be. And then there's also another component in there called Wellmune to really up the ante on your immune system and function. So ProBio, that's a big one. And then Omega Plus, this is your omega-3s, EPA and DHA, omega-7, and also vitamin D. So that's the plus aspect of it. But we know that omega-3s are vital, healthy fats. We need good fats in our body, and this is for your brain, you guys. Your brain, your nervous system, really no system is bypassed by any of these 4 biohacks. So Vitality Stack, honestly, this would be the go-to regimen, in my opinion, for every human, and it's what my family and I all use as well. So when you have the most phenomenal biohacking products on the market, you have to look at all the avenues that you can affect with biohacking. And with NRF2 activation, biohacking of the brain with Axio is an absolute must. So this is literally brain food. We are able to biohack our brain chemistry. So the chemicals in your brain get to the part of the brain that they need to go to. This is a boost of energy, reduces fatigue, increases your concentration, your focus, your mood, lifts your brain fog. This is just a really nice, clean formula. If you're looking at energy drink wise, you could look at it like that, but this is so much better and bigger than an energy drink. I'm going to show you this here. This is actually a graph. This is the reason why Axio has caught a lot of attention of many doctors, but one particular doctor, his name is Dr. Brett Brimhall, and he has made nutraceuticals for several years. And a patient of his who had autism was this number 18 here. And if you see this in you can see the September to February, and you can see this little guy was not even on the charts at first, and then on his second scoring, which you can't tell, he is scored higher than anyone else in the class, and the only change in that time frame was Axio. This is another little guy with severe ADHD, 1 week on Nerve2 Proteandum and Axio, and look at the ability to focus and concentrate and the improvement in the writing with that 1 week. These are our other products very briefly. Pet Tandem, if you have a four-legged friend and you know that their oxidative stress load is much more significant than ours, which is why they tend to die, their lifespan is not as long as ours. Pet Tandem is that Nerve2 activator for animals, for dogs specifically. And then we have True Science, which is our skincare line, our Nerve2 activator for the skin. So this was the follow-up to a study done by Louisiana State University on skin cancers, particular melanoma, finding that after taking NRF2, which is from the inside out, these cancers were falling off and we're seeing improvement in skin function. So if we could do that from the inside out, why didn't we have something topically from the outside in? And so here we have it, True Science. And then physique, think about how many people that are looking to manage their weight. So you could use this for weight loss, but you can also use it for weight maintenance as well. We have Cleanse, which is very powerful. 1 week a month, you do a cleanse, capsule form. The probiotic, which I already mentioned, and then also the fat burn, which is targeted at visceral fat. And then the protein shake, which is slow and fast release proteins and really wide array of amino acids, which is very important as well. So the thing about products is you can have a lot of science, but if the science isn't leading to results, then you still don't have a win-win situation. But with this company, we have both of those. We have science-based, research-based products that have testimonials and results to follow up. So this guy in the upper left, he used the True Science regimen for 90 days on 1/2 of his face. Can you guess which side he used it on? And then this burn, you can see these keloid scars almost forming, and pigmented skin, it's very hard to get your natural coloring back following a burn, and look at how amazing that looks. And the last one is obviously psoriasis, and the plaques were gone with just Nerve2, and the second step, which is the perfecting lotion of the True Science line. This was from last year, the physique challenge that we have going on right now. It's a transforming your physique challenge, and it's using that physique line, and you can see this is Vitality Stack along with the physique line, and you can see amazing results in the visceral area, the fat that surrounds your organs, which is the scary stuff in the first place, and you can see that was exactly where the focus went. So back to the story, the stock went from $20 to 7 cents because it just did not work having these in stores. They were only selling, excuse me, a 1/2 a bottle per store per month. Basically, the company was going to be going bankrupt if they continued with the retail market in GNC, Walgreens, and so forth. And you can see why, right? There's a giant story here that needs to be told. Who would see a Nerve2 Proteandum Synergizer on the shelf and even know what it was, right? I mean, I just spent 20 minutes explaining to you the science behind the products. So in 2009, they hired a marketing consultant, and he suggested that they do a 6-week trial on different methods of distribution. And direct sales outsold retail sales by 300%. And so in 2009, the company switched from that from the retail to the direct sales, which is basically the same market that we're in right now. So it's one-on-one, someone who is an independent distributor is telling you about the product, and you decide what you want to do with that. So this one is just basically just talking about timing and network marketing. And I got to be honest with you, I didn't get interested in this company because of the business. I got interested in this company because the peer-reviewed research, which is what most physicians and many others are interested in this company for in the first place. But the only thing I knew about network marketing really is that no one liked it, and I didn't really know why because I'd not really done it. Not familiar with it, but I do know that timing is everything, and I think that you'd have to agree that if you could have had like a tiny percent in the stock in the sell of an iPhone before iPhones got big, if you just had a tiny percent of a stock, and now every time an iPhone sold you got a payment from that, you'd get pretty excited, right? Will the first 135,000 distributors to join a network marketing company with predictable success participate in a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity? We're at about 80,000 worldwide, and this is 135,000 per country that this statistic is for. So we're definitely before the critical mass point, and this is definitely the time to get interested. What's going on? There we go. These are basically the bundles of product that would be purchased. If you were looking this at as a business opportunity, you're basically buying the products, because it's as a distributor, you want to be a product of the product. But there's also there's obviously different ways to get involved. There's a preferred customer option where you're getting wholesale pricing, but we're bypassing the middleman, you guys. Who wants to have to go somewhere to go get something every time they need it, right? We're driven by technology. We want things to be convenient and get what we want when we want it, and we're in control of it, right? And so why not eliminate that middleman? So that's the benefit of becoming a preferred customer, is you're just getting the products directly from the company, and you don't have to go through someone else. Or as a distributor, you're not only using the products, which we want you to use the products, because that's the whole purpose behind this anyway, is for you to find health in more ways. But if you're sharing this information with someone else, and they decide to use the products too, then the company will compensate you for that. So it's really very simple. But here's this, there's different ways that the company pays you, and one of them is this idea of residual income. So you think about that, it's just doing the work once and getting paid for it forever. So there's different ways that you can get paid, but and there's a quote here that I'd rather have 1% of the efforts of 100 people than 100% of my own efforts. And I might say that a different way, in that I would like to influence more people, and the best and easiest, fastest way to affect more people with health is by having other people that are interested in health telling the people that they love and care about. So you can influence more people if you have a bigger team. This is just showing because we're a publicly traded company on the NASDAQ, we have to reveal what our income disclosure is. And so you can look at this. Sometimes you want to look at this and just think, well, maybe it is you want to have just your product paid for, or maybe you want to make your house payment, or maybe you really want out of your job. But there are different ways that we can help you to reach your goals, whatever your goals might be. Entrepreneurship is living a few years of your life like most people won't, so that you can spend the rest of your life like most people can't. And so, obviously, if you're really thinking about this as a business, we want to partner with you. We want to help you become successful. But the most important thing we want you to do is to find ways to make yourself healthier, because we know that our environment just continues to get more toxic, and we need to find ways. And this is one very powerful way to activate your body to function as it should. So as it was designed to. So I would really encourage you to get back to whoever invited you to this Zoom tonight, and just tell them where you are. Maybe you're not interested at all. Maybe you're interested in using the products. Maybe you're interested in using the products and possibly sharing it with others. Or maybe you just know someone who might be interested because because you just think they would. So anyway, get back to whoever invited you, and I just thank you for your time. Thank you for listening, and I wish you well. I'll take the recording off and